also ask any merchandise location on how you can donate to the Disney Conservation Fund. Whatever donation you do make, Disney will always match that. So if you donate, we're going to be moving as well as those animals, and we want to get that perfect shot now, don't we? Now, yes, this is a real truck, and I am actually driving. So my number one rule, I cannot stress this enough, just make sure we are staying seated at all times. Even if we're at a complete stop, just stay seated for me. If you do have any little kids that cannot see, they are allowed to lap sit, but don't hold them up, don't string them around. They're not Simba, you are not Rafiki. Now it does look like we are going to make our way into the little Itsuri forest. Now these animals do love to blend into their environment, so really good camouflage, so be on the lookout. Okay, maybe not that well, because I can already see some. Now coming up on the right, in that back corner right over there, that is a beautiful okapi. Now a lot of people think the okapi is related to the zebra, because there's striped legs and back, but they are not. They're actually related to the giraffes. You're able to tell from their long facial structure and their long 16-inch purple tongue. Now, a lot of people did think they were a myth. They weren't found until 1901 by some Europeans. Once they discovered it, it made people question, what other animals have yet to be discovered out here? No. Now, these rusty colored animals right here on the left, these are some bongos. Now, bongos are also known as the ghosts of the forest because they are very rare to find. So now I guess tell your family and friends you saw ghosts in the forest. You are able to tell the difference between the male and the female bongo because the males are much larger in size. They're also darker in color. And if you were to pet a bongo, you actually get that red color on your hands.
Olha lá em cima, Zolau.
Now coming up on the right, there's going to be a tan animal right over here on top of this hill. This is a gorgeous greater kudu. There she is right there. Now they are the largest forest antelopes in the world. You can tell that she is a female because she doesn't have horns.
Olha ali grandão.
Their horns can actually grow to be about 6
Olha
feet
lá,
long.
lá, ó.
And right there on the left, there's a gorgeous black rhino. There's another one up ahead right over here.
Água.
The black rhinos weigh about 3,500 pounds. And they can run about 35 miles per hour.
Ai, que lindo.
Now, unfortunately, there is only 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today due to poaching. And they're getting poached for their horns. Because inside their horns, there's something called keratin in them. But keratin is also found in our fingernails and hair. So why is it so important to people? I have no idea. Just clip your nails. Maybe get a haircut. That'll help. You never know.
Água.
And we did just see most of these animals in the Itsuri forest, so we're going to leave it behind. Now we're going to head into the Safári River. Let's go see what animals are hanging out in this water up ahead.
Aqui vai ter bicho. As garças lá, só. Ele parou porque não, ele não tá achando bicho.
There's some trees.
Tigres.
Water. Oh, and look at this. There's some ducks. But look at that right there in that water. There's a Nile hippopotamus
Ó, tá
hiding right
hipopótamo
there.
ali debaixo da
If you
água.
guys can't see it on the right, don't worry, because look at these ones on the left
Na
right
água
over
zoou o
there.
hipopótamo. Olha ali.
There's some on the left. Make sure you're staying seated, guys. Sit down for me, please. Right there on the left, there's some hippos. Now, when they're born, they're about 85 pounds, and then they grow to be about 5,000 pounds.
Olha o hipopótamo lá, ó.
They do spend all their time in the water, except at night. That's when they leave their water to go find their food. And they go walk miles and miles away from their water to go find that. Now on that little island right here on the left, there are some pink-backed pelicans on it. They do get their name because during mating season, their backs turn a slight pink. Now during that time, there could be pairs of 20 to 500 in one small area. Now as you can see, some of those hippos were sleeping under the water. They do that. Their bodies automatically rise when they need a breath of air. But they can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes long, so they don't run into air too quickly.
Olha. Bah, muito animal.
Oh, now keep looking left. Look at these gorgeous guys right here. Some Nile crocodile.
Jacaré.
Now they grow to be about 16 feet long. They were to stand up on their tails. That's as tall as a giraffe. And they can weigh up to 500 pounds. Now, a lot of people don't know about these vicious predators is that they're actually really good parents. What they like to do, they put those eggs in their mouth, roam around a little so they crack. That way it's easier for those babies to hatch. How awesome is that?
ter girafas, ó.
Now it does look like we are leaving the Safári. We're going to make our way into the savannah. Now the savannah is going to be home to many famous animals here in Africa. So let's go see if we
A girafa lá embaixo.
I mean, you really can't say no, you're kind of stuck in the truck, so we're going either way.
Isso podia ser uma
Now look at that
gravação, cara, vai
gorgeous
ficar
view
rouco.
of the savannah right there. You know what's better than that though? This gorgeous view of the savannah right there.
A girafa lá, Zó, a girafa.
And you see some giraffes right over there. I do see a giraffe baby right over there as well.
Girafa baby.
Now these are Maasai giraffes, so you're able to tell they're Maasai. Because if you look at their brown spots, they're kind of messy, unlike other giraffes. Oh, I actually see two babies right here. Now when they're born, they're about 6 feet tall. But the first thing they do experience when they're born is a 6-foot drop. That's because giraffes normally do not like to lay down in case any predators are around. So mothers give birth standing up. Talk about welcome to the real world, guys. Now after they're born, they actually stand within the first hour. And then they grow to be about 16 to 20 feet tall when they're an adult. If you guys did see, they were doing what they do best, and that's eat, of course. Giraffes only spend 30 minutes of their day sleeping. The rest of the day, they spend eating. Talk about living the life right there. Now, do you see some Ankoli cattle right there on the right? We'll get a closer view once we drive over there. Let's see what other animals we could find before we reach them. Oh, like these guys on the left, some
Olha
wild
aqui, aquele que não
African
tem lá,
dogs.
né? Eu não conheço
Now
esse
they're also
bicho.
known as painted
Que
dogs
aparece
for their
no
unique
desenho.
colors. Look how beautiful.
Do Timão
their
e
coats
Pumba.
are.
Que dão risada.
É, essa
Now,
aí.
these dogs do hunt in packs. They're actually the most successful predators in the world.
Olha
Catch about
só.
90% of their prey. What they do, there's a dominant male and a dominant female that work together, and they basically
Parece os
tie their
cachorros
prey
se
out. So they
coçando.
keep running until that prey can't take it anymore. And instead of a bark like most dogs, they actually have a cute little squeak
Olha,
called a
giraffe.
Aqui. That's how they communicate to each other.
A
Now,
papai
here's an
girafa.
Ankoli cattle right here on the left. It's also known as Watusi cattle because the Watusi tribe were the first one to discover these beautiful girls and guys.
Bah,
Now,
as
guys, look,
guampas do
all the
bicho.
way in the back by those trees, you can see some sable antelope back there. Now they are the emblem or symbol of Harambe
esse eu
as
fiquei
well.
feliz.
They're preserved. That's because instead of running away from their predators,
Olha outra
they like to
ali,
stand their
ó.
ground
Olha lá,
and
ó.
fight
Outra
back
girafa.
against
A
them.
mamãe girafa ali, ó. Lá, ó, filho, do lado, ó.
Here we are coming up on those Ankoli cattle again. Now get a good look at the size of their horns. Their horns are going to be about 5 to 6 feet from tip to tip.
A mamãe girafa.
Now they're going to look heavy, but they're actually not because they're made
Lá
of a
tem monte, ó.
honeycomb-like structure. They only weigh about
Que
5
bicho
to
é
10
esse com esses
pounds.
chifres desse
Their
tamanho?
horns help regulate their blood flow and body temperature.
Ah,
Now in Africa, Ankoli cattle are known for wealth. So the more cattle you have, the more wealthy you are. So get some today.
é, parece vaca.
If you guys see the solid brown cattle coming up right here, that is the bull, also known as the male. You can tell because he is much larger in size compared to the other ones. So these ones with the different colors, those are female. He also has the biggest horns, that's how I
A
remember him.
mais girafa.
Now going back to those giraffes right over there, they do have the highest blood pressure out of any animal in the world. That's because they need all that blood to flow up their necks and into their brains.
Dá aqui pra mim, então.
Actually going back to their necks, just like us humans, they only have 7 bones in it. Clearly they are much longer in size compared to ours, but I like to call myself a short neck giraffe, so it's okay. If you do get a good look of a giraffe's tongues, their tongues are very, very long. They're the same size as an average person's forearm. About 18 inches. How gross is that? Does anyone know what a group of giraffes is called? No, it is very fitting. It's called a tower. So you guys just saw the whole tower of giraffes back there. How funny is that? But it is very common to find giraffes hanging out with some zebras and wildebeest as well, because all of them are non-territorial. So they don't really care who's hanging out with who. And once in a while in Africa, they all get together and migrate from one area to the next. Now, they can migrate thousands of miles. Now, when they migrate, they actually follow the rain, because wherever it rains, that means fresher grass for them.
É, amou.
Oh, now look at this big guy coming up on the right here. A gorgeous African elephant. Now you can tell it's an African elephant because when you look at their ears, they're kind of shaped like the continent. I already know what you're saying. These ears do not look like Africa. Well, it's abstract, okay? As you see, he was waving hi to us. How cute was that? Now, elephants do have the longest pregnancies out of any animal in the world. Does anyone know how long they're pregnant for? They are pregnant for 2 years. Imagine being pregnant for 2 years. Women, no, good luck. But once they're born, they're about 250 pounds. And then they grow to be about 11,000 pounds, like that big guy right back there. Now, yes, he was the male elephant, also known as the bull elephant. That's because by the age of 13, that's when they reach their maturity. And they either go off by themselves or with other men and create a bachelor herd. So all you just witnessed a very lonely bachelor party over there. Sad. As you see, he was doing what they do best, and that's eat, of course. They eat a lot a day. They can eat over 500 pounds of food a day. Not even gonna relate this to candy right now because I love junk food. But that's like eating 5,000 full-size Snicker bars a day. How crazy is that? Oh, but something I like to eat right here on the left and right is some red clay. Oh, and as you see, there are some elephant tusk marks in it, so there could be some more elephants. So be on the lookout. Oh, that was easy. Right there on the left, there's some more. Now, they like to eat the red clay because it has very important nutrients and minerals, and it's really good for their diet. Now, one of their most important tools, as you can see, is their trunks. They have over 100,000 muscles in their trunks alone. Now, that trunk kind of acts like a top lip for them because, as you can see, they actually do not have a top lip. And it acts like a little mouth for them because they use it to grab their food. Now, if you do ever see them flap their ears, that's how they keep cool when it's hot out. Because behind their ears, they have large blood vessels. So when they flap them, it creates a big air current that cools them down. And they can get 15 degrees cooler just by doing that. Now, unfortunately, elephants are in danger due to poaching. They do get poached for their tusks. Because inside their tusks, they have something called ivory in them. And ivory is very valuable on the black market. Now, not only are they suffering from poaching, but they are losing their habitat in Africa. And because of that, they are intruding on farmers' lands and ruining their crops. But scientists have discovered that elephants are actually afraid of something. Does anyone know what they're afraid of? It's actually smaller than the mice. They are afraid of bees. So what farmers are now doing, they are planting beehives around their farm so elephants won't intrude. How rude. Oh, but look at this whole flamboyance of greater flamingos right here on the left. These guys are the largest and lightest pink flamingos in the world. They stand as tall as 5 feet. If you do see them eat right now, they stick their whole heads in that water, or they just swivel their heads back and forth above it. That's because on the inside of their top beak, they have a little filtration system. So it filters all that good stuff and leaves all the bad stuff out. Now, what are they filtering, you may ask? Brine shrimp. Inside that brine shrimp, there's something called keratin, and that's what gives the flamingos their pink color. Now I do see a big mud wallow coming up on the left. Could mean there are some white rhinos around, so be on the lookout. They like to roll around in this mud. That way the sun hardens the mud on their skin. It acts like a sunblock for them. You will be able to tell the difference between a black and a white one, because the white ones are much larger in size. They're going to weigh about 5,000 pounds, when the black ones only weigh about 3,500. You know, only 3,500. They're so tiny. Oh, here they are, right here on the right.
Oh, yeah.
No, as you can see, they're not actually white. They're still gray, but it's misinterpreted for the word white, which is Afrikaans for the word wide. The white rhinos have a much wider mouth compared to the black ones. It's another way you can differentiate them. Now, rhinos do have very poor vision. They can only see a few feet in front of them. So those rhinos did not see us right there, which is why a group of them is called a crash. because they also run 35 miles per hour, so they basically run blind. So what happens then? They end up crashing. Oh, now look at that big cat hiding behind that rock right over there on the left. There's a gorgeous cheetah. There it is. Now cheetahs run about 70 miles per hour, which makes them the fastest land animal in the world. They can reach those speeds in just under 3 seconds. One of the great adaptations they have to help them run faster is a very flexible spine. Their spines are so flexible that when they run, they can actually turn in mid-air. Now they are the only big cat with non-retractable claws. That eases them to grip into the ground when they run. And they're also the only big cats that can purr. How cute is that? Ooh, but speaking of big cats, it does look like we are approaching a kopie. Now, kopie is a special rock structure, as you can see. It is the perfect place to find the lions, because they like to climb all the way on top of those rocks. That way you can see their prey from down below. And the flat surfaces make it a perfect place for them to rest, which is what they do best during the day, because they are nocturnal. So they rest for 16 to 20 hours of the day. Talk about living the dream right there. Now they rest for that long to save all their energy to go hunting at night. They do it at night because during the day they have the same eyesight as we do, but during the nighttime their eyesight can get 6 times greater. And when they go hunting, only the females go and catch their prey, while the men stay back and guard their territory and their little cubs. I see them laying down right over here on the left. I'm trying to get a better view of them. Do you see the female and the male laying right next to each other right there? It's kind of hard to see. Right on top of those rocks. You see that tail wag a little bit.
Sim, pois é,
now,
será?
unfortunately, there is only 20,000 lions left in the world today due to poaching. There's going to be more people riding this ride today than there are lions left in the world. Now look at this on the left, some warthogs. They are the largest burrowing animals in the world. Now when they go into the burrows, they like to back up into them. That way their tusks are facing outward, so in case any predators are around, they are ready to attack. Now going back to those warthogs, they actually do not have warts. What they do have is a little fat stored underneath their eyes and mouths, basically for protection against any predators. Now you are able to tell the difference between the male and the female warthog because the males have 4 of those, when the females, they only have 2. The males are also larger in size, but that's not fun. But it does look like we are going to make our way out of the savannah. We're going to head into the Magadi Glen now. Now coming up ahead on top of the hill to the left, I do see the gorgeous scimitar horned oryx laying down right over here. Now they do get their name because their horns look like the Middle Eastern sword, the scimitar. Look how gorgeous he is. Hi, buddy. Now what's really cool about these guys, they can go 9 months without water. Well, that's because they get all that water in the vegetation that they eat, and their bodies do not start sweating until they reach 115 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically they do not sweat. Must be nice. Can't relate. But now, unfortunately, it does look like we have reached the end of our journey today. Did you guys have fun? Yeah. Oh, I am so glad to hear. If you do want to see more animals, I do encourage riding